I like to go off the merit of when you find something really good in a bin, keep digging, okay? I'm just like, girl, like, don't rush me. I know what the hell I'm doing. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel via Glow. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps, and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a ship with me. I have a lot of orders to get out. For reference, this is Memorial Day weekend. I guess it just passed actually. So these are sales from Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Monday was a little bit slower, but I suspected that because it was a holiday and people are out there having fun. So my numbers, because I love to give you guys the numbers, my gross profit was $1,100 and my net profit was $885. I did make a total of 40 sales across 3 platforms, 20 on Poshmark, 13 on eBay, and 7 on Mercari. All right, so I did get 3 good old bundles on Poshmark, and this one is just a plus size bundle. Now I've already prepped everything, so I'm not gonna undo anything. I'll just pop it on the screen, but this was a 4-piece bundle. It was, it was all plus size, so that was actually really good. So you can just tell that this was like a cute little curated moment. And if you are a viewer, I appreciate you. But yeah, these were some really pretty tops. This was around the time that I was sourcing a lot of plus size tops because the reselling community was saying it was a thing. And I have to say that it was, but I do think it definitely has slowed down. I think what ends up happening with anything in the reselling community is that once a lot of people reach it and they start, you know, searching it and buying it and doing all the things, guess what? It becomes oversaturated. So I do think that that played a really big role in these items taking a little while to sell. But you know, what can you do? But anyways, let me know if you still pick up a lot of plus size pieces because I have definitely stopped. Now this box is too damn big. It looks huge. It's fine. I'm already here. I'm gonna just commit to it. I think like 2 of these pieces were linen. One of them was the chambray denim, and I forget what the other one was. But that was the reason why I grabbed all of these. But this was a really cute little bundle. All right, so this is another bundle. This one is a 4-piece bundle. The last one was also a 4-piece bundle. So one of them was actually a Zara dress that I had just sourced literally, like I want to say maybe last week. And then one was a pair of shorts that has no attention on it. I never heard of it, but the brand is called Feet. And then another one is the Just Living linen pants. I've noticed that Just Living sell-through rate for their linen pants is decent. I think this is just like the season really, but I was interested in picking them up just because they were linen, honestly. And you already know how I feel about picking up linen, especially at the bins. So I picked it up, and then the last thing to sell was that patch sweater. Again, this person came in and sent me an additional offer on my items, and I think I went on and accepted it. All right, so this 4-piece bundle sold for $77, and I did pay $6.16 for this, and I did make a net profit of $55.44 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so the last bundle on Poshmark was a 5-piece bundle. This one consisted of 2 Under Armour men's shorts, a Psycho Bunny, you know, top, and then a women's Chico's top, and then a women's Chico pair of pants. I've noticed that a lot of Chicos have sold this weekend. Once y'all keep watching the video, there's more, so we love that. But this one was an interesting bundle. Looked like they're shopping for their family. I received the offer on this one, and I think I went on and accepted it only because I looked into the pieces that were in the bundle, and I noticed that the Under Armour shorts had no attention on any platforms. Even though I have luck selling them, I'm sure it was just, you know, oversaturated, so it was going to take a little while to actually sell. So I went on and just accepted the offer just because I didn't want to have to wait any longer. The Psycho Bunny piece had just been relisted, and I believe the Chico's pieces, those were eventually going to sell. But I love bundles because I can get multiple pieces out the door all at once. So I didn't mind it. So this one actually sold for $61 and I paid $4.39 for all of these, and I made a profit of $44.41 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so these are some mother denim jeans. I know I actually just hauled these for y'all not too long ago, and they eventually sold. I received a $75 offer, and of course I took it just because these were flawed. Realistically, if there was no flaws on this, these would have sold for like $140, $150. So $75 is, you know, a pretty good price point for flawed items. Now, I told y'all before, I do pick up quite a few flawed mother jeans at the bins. They do sell for me. I know that not everybody likes to pick up flawed items. I personally only pick up flawed good items when I know the brand can still sell the item. But I wouldn't say go around picking up everything that's flawed, but flawed things do sell. But like I said, they sent me a $75 offer. This one had a lot of attention across multiple platforms, and I knew that it was going to sell eventually. And once they sent me that offer, of course I accepted it, and I did pay $1.44 for this at the Goodwill outlet, and I made a profit of $58.56 after fees and cost of goods. These are a pair of American Eagle jeans. If you guys watched my Austin video, I definitely picked these up for myself, and they were not big butt friendly, so I went on and listed them. I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to accept their offer, just because these were new with tags, but I've recognized that American Eagle jeans have definitely fallen off. You can still sell them, but you're not going to get them for a decent amount. I don't think I can sell them for more than $20 nowadays. So I went on and took this one just because this was like a little bit of a unicorn, a little bit, because it was a size 14 and it was a petite or short, and I knew that I'd probably be waiting a little while longer just to get them out the door. So I went on and accepted it, and this one sold for $32. I did pay $7.27. I don't typically count my cost of goods when I pick it up for myself, but since this was new with tags and I did try it on and it didn't fit, I was like, okay, I'll just go ahead and list it. So that's the cost of goods. So I only made a profit of $18.33 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so these are a pair of 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 jeans, again with the flare. These actually sold fairly quickly. What's so funny is that, of course, I enjoy picking up 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂. Like, I pick it up just about every time I see it. Not so much the last couple of weeks, I want to say, though. So I saw these, and of course I grabbed them. I think I even paid up for a pair at a regular thrift store. I think, I'm not sure. But anyways, I did find another pair recently at the bins, and I decided to leave that one behind because I'm like, okay, these other sizes aren't selling for me, so I'm not gonna just fill my closet up with items that aren't selling. Lo and behold, these sell. So then I started to regret, like, I probably should have picked those other ones up. But you know, you live and you learn. This particular person too, they messaged me yesterday and they were like, just a reminder to please ship. So of course, y'all already know me. I said, hello, today is a federal holiday, so the post office is closed today. They'll be shipped out tomorrow. So I'm just like, girl, like, don't rush me. I know what the hell I'm doing. But anyways, these sold for $38, which is my full asking price. I did pay $1.20 for them at the Goodwill outlet, so I made a profit of $29.20 after fees and cost of goods. I have quite a few pair of jeans. These are some 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 jeans. I initially picked these up, and then I saw the flaw that wouldn't come out, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and keep them. I tried them on, they look cute, but for some reason, like, jeans that are cropped on short people just looks odd to me, okay? What looked odd on me, should I say. It just looked odd. So I went on and listed them, and I try to price them fairly just because they did have a flaw. Nothing too crazy. It was just kind of like a discoloration mark on the back thigh. And this particular person sent me a $28 offer, which I thought was pretty reasonable. And I accepted it, and I paid nothing because these were sitting in my closet because I had figured I'm gonna go ahead and keep them. And then when I did like a closet purge prior to me moving out of the house, I said, you know what, I'm not gonna wear these. So I didn't keep the cost of goods. But this one, I did make a profit of $22.40 after fees. Okay, last pair of jeans on Poshmark are these Risen jeans. Oddly enough, I came across this brand at a regular thrift store, and I actually, you know, looked up the name because I think the style that I saw in the thrift store was a pretty good style, which is like a flare just like this one. But I noticed that the comps weren't that high, so I put in my brain a little mental note that said, you can pick these up at the bins and at the bins only. So when I saw them at the bins, I went on and picked them up. These didn't take long to sell at all. I want to say like a week and a half, if that. So they sent me a $22 offer. Of course, I went on and accepted it just because my bot was going to send them an offer, which was going to be a $24 offer, I believe. So I just took that into consideration and was like, okay, it's just a $2 difference, so let's just go ahead and get it out the door. So I did pick these up for $1.08, and I made a profit of $16.52 after fees and cost of goods. These are a pair of men Fabletics shorts. I know I just showed y'all this in a recent haul video. So I didn't think they were going to sell that fast, but the sell-through rate was just amazing. Like I said in that haul video, I was shocked. I picked these up just because they looked interesting, and I do sell Fabletics items. So when I just checked these to make sure they were worth bringing home, I was pleasantly surprised. So I would definitely pick up Fabletics shorts at the Goodwill outlet if you see them, of course. And you know, they're a good style, good size. Mine had a few factors. It was a plus size, or I don't know if men have plus sizes, but it was a larger size, and the colorway was really nice, and it was a newer style, the popular style. So I went on and got it. And this one sold for $23. I had it priced at $28. I had noticed that most of the sold comps were between $15 to like $25. So I priced mine at $28 in hopes of getting $20 to $25. They sent me a $23 offer. I did pay $1.24. So I made a net profit of $17.16 after fees and cost of goods. Okay, this is a men's rails top. I picked this one up a while ago. This one definitely took at least like 5 months to sell. This was my first time picking up rails from, you know, the men's department. I typically only pick up women's, so I was a bit hesitant. And I think at this particular time, I wasn't checking comps on items that I wasn't, you know, at the very least about 80% sure of. I just picked them up due to style. I don't source that way anymore, unfortunately for me, which makes it worse when it's time to source, because I am more strict and intentional with what I'm picking up versus just picking up anything for the brand. I like to check the, you know, all the other things. But anyways, this one finally sold. I think I had it priced at like $32. They sent me a $25 offer, which I thought was pretty reasonable. And I went on and accepted it. I did pay $1 for it, and I made a profit of $19 after fees and cost of goods. What's so good about this one is I had just sourced another men's one, and I made sure to look up the sell-through rate, and the sell-through rate for the particular style that I picked up was actually doing decent. So I was like, okay, it's worth taking home. Ironically enough, it's the exact same style as that one. They're just two different colorways, so I thought that was interesting. All right, so this is a brand called GB. I only picked this up due to style. I want to say last summer I was having so much luck selling a lot of white dresses, and I just was picking them up like crazy. And I picked this one up around that time. I want to say around the time that I was picking stuff up just to hold on to it to list later on. So this one eventually got listed most likely in February, so it's been sitting since then. But actually that's not that bad. February, March, April, May, that's like 3 months. Not bad. But this one eventually sold, and I was okay with the price point just because this is not typically a brand that I pick up, honestly. It was like a one-off situation. It was more of a style pickup, should I say, than it was a brand pickup. So this one sold for $23. I had it priced at $28. They sent me a $23 offer. I thought that was pretty reasonable. And this one I paid 97 cents for at the Goodwill outlet. Of course, this was before, you know, my outlet upped their price. And I made a profit of $17.43 after fees and cost of goods. This is a cute little Hot Topic overall situation. I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to pick this up just because at the time that I picked it up, the comps were not good. But I did have to be mindful that we were in winter. So that's another thing too, that when you are sourcing, you know, in the bins, you're going to come across a lot of items that are not technically in season, and you have to make that decision on whether or not you want to take it home. Even if you check comps, people are looking for summer items. So let's just say you are listing coats and stuff right now. Not a lot of people are going to be buying those, so the sell-through rate is not going to look that good for winter items during this time. So you just want to be mindful and just be like, okay, the comps probably don't look good, but this is still going to be able to sell when it's in season. But this one ended up selling for my full asking price of $38. I did pay $1.19 for it at the Goodwill outlet, so I made a profit of $29.21 after fees and cost of goods. This one was an interesting one. It's like a halter neck situation. It's a mini dress. Now, the tag looked like it was worth looking into. The brand is called Classy Network. Now, I had never, you know, sourced this brand before, and actually never heard of anybody, you know, talking about it. So it was pretty new to me, but I did check like pretty quick comps. And by pretty quick, I mean the brand and then whatever the item is. So I probably just put in Classy Network dress, and the comps were okay. So since I'm a bin sticker, when I see sold comps selling for about $20 and over, it's an automatic like, yeah, let's go ahead and get it. But if I see something selling for $20 and the sell-through rate is like 10%, I don't get it. But if the sold comps are over $20 and it's 30% sell-through rate minimum, I go ahead and get it. So that's pretty much like my criteria for items that I source at the Goodwill bins, is that the sell-through rate has to be 30% or higher, because I don't mind sitting on it if the comps are going to be over, you know, $20+. But yeah, so this one actually sold for $30. This one got a little bit more attention than I thought it was going to get. It seemed like I probably was going to wait a little while. I didn't think it was going to sell as quickly as it did. I mean, we're talking maybe a week and a half. But this one sold for $30. I did pay $1.44 for it at the outlet, and I did make a profit of $22.56 after fees and cost of goods. This one also is a new to me brand called 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊. I heard of this brand from Teach and Thrift, I want to say. That was her channel. I don't know if she still made content, but she lives in Florida, and you already know, like, a lot of stuff is regional, if we're being completely honest. So I heard her talk about this brand, so I started to kind of like, you know, put my antennas up, and I ended up finding two pieces, and this is the first one to actually sell. Now, I do remember Haley Elaine actually talking about this brand as well, but I think she was talking about it more in the like sporty category, where like skirts and stuff like that. This one was a regular top. And I still picked it up just because I knew that it would still sell. And this one actually sold for $30. I think I had it priced at $38. The comps were pretty much up there. Now, the sell-through rate, not so much. The sell-through rate had to have been at about 30 or so % for tops. So that's why this one sat for like a good 4 months, but 4 months is still not that bad. But this one sold for $30, and I did pay $1.16 for it at the Goodwill outlet. So I made a profit of $22.84 after fees and cost of goods. This is an Old Navy women's plus size knit sweater. This one was new attached, and that was the only reason why I was intrigued. Old Navy is just not a brand that I gravitate to. And I do notice it a lot at the Goodwill outlet. The pieces have to be very specific. Had this been any other size other than a 2X, I would not have picked it up. Or I probably would have picked it up to sell to a buy-sell trade store, but to pick it up to sell, probably not. So the fact that it was a colorway that was perfect for spring, the fact that it was a 2X, the fact that it was newer tags, it had all those factors. So that was the only reason why I took it home. But this one eventually sold for $20. It had so much attention. I really thought it was going to sell on Mercari because it had a lot of likes over there, but nobody committed to it. So I was just like, that's fine. But somebody eventually sent me a $20 offer, and I accepted it. I think I was going to get about 20 to 25 for it. So 20 is a pretty good price point for a Ben's item. But this one sold for $20, and I did pay $1.19 for it, and I made a profit of $14.81 after fees and cost of goods. All right, this one was also exciting. This is that Tory Burch top that I had in a, you know, most recent haul, probably like the one before last. But this one, I had to figure out the brand, because I'm like, okay, the quality of this felt really nice. It was silk, and just the style of it, it was giving very much so luxury vibes. So I did a little bit of extra research. Of course, I tried to Google Lens it. I rarely Google Lens items at the bins. Couldn't find anything. So then I eventually just looked at the buttons, and the buttons was a dad giveaway. It said Tory Burch on it, and I'm like, perfect. Even better. So I try not to list it too high because I did want it to sell. The comps were immaculate, honestly. The comps were all like about $60 to $80 just for silk tops. Now, of course, not everything is going to sell equally, so that's understandable, but I felt like I had a pretty good style. The fact that it was silk, and you know, it was a size small, so I got lucky with that. But it did sell for $54, and I did pay $1.20 for it, so I made a profit of $42 after fees and cost of goods. And that's just a tip to always look at the buttons, look at the zipper if you know you don't know what the brand is, because you just never really know. Okay. All right, so this is a 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊 top. It is a brand sold at Anthropologie. I remember showing y'all how to list, and I couldn't find this item. I had Google Lens it, couldn't find anything. I've been noticing Google Lens doesn't really find much for me, so I rarely use it nowadays unless it's something like real funky looking. But I went on and listed this without a stock photo because I couldn't find it. And this one took, I want to say what, like a month and a half to sell. This one did get attention. The comps weren't there when we looked on that reseller vlog. I'll link that video down below if y'all are interested. But I remember trying to check comps with you guys, trying to just kind of find more information on the brand and the style, and nothing showed up. So I didn't list it high. I wanted to list it to sell. So I priced it at $25, and this one actually sold for my full asking price of $25. I did pay $1.39 for it, and I made a profit of $18.61 after fees and cost of goods. This is a Vineyard Vines linen top. I went against the grain because the comps on it was not good when I looked this up, but this was an item that, you know, I had to sit on to list until the season. And this one was definitely listed in February. I want to say all the items that I sourced last year to list in season for the spring and summer was listed by February. So before February ended, all of the items that were sourced for, you know, the summer and the spring was listed already. But this one sold for $22. I think I had it priced at like $28. I try not to pick up Vineyard Vines too often, just because it's not really like the best brand. I feel like it's a little bit better than Crown and Ivy, but it's still not like a great brand. So the main reason why I picked this up is the fact that it was linen and it was like a pop over top, and those two styles alone and fabric content will sell an item. So this one took like what, 2.5 months to sell. Like I said, it sold for $22. I did pay 99 cents for it, so I made a profit of $16.61 after fees and cost of goods. This is a women's Columbia like vest situation. I don't even know what this is called. I have completely given up on Columbia unless it is plus size hiking pants or hiking pants in general, because they still perform. You just have to price it correctly. I had this one priced at $20. I was trying to get 15 to 20 for it. Someone came in and sent me a $13 offer. I went on and accepted it. This was getting attention on another platform, and this person, you know, came in and sent an offer, and I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and let it go. But I don't think I would pick it up again. I think Columbia is just one of those brands that I'm done with. Honestly, I've broken up with her. Oversaturated, and it just doesn't perform that well unless it's plus size, I feel like, at this point. So like I said, this one sold for $13. I did pay $1.10 for it, so I made a profit of $8.95 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so the last thing to sell on Poshmark was this really pretty Sundance crushed velvet top. I picked this up at the bins and I was so excited to find it. Sundance is one of those brands that I feel like I have to pick up no matter what. It's the same way I feel about REI Co-op. Those are just two brands that I'm just like, oh, I've got to get it. Like, I know it's gonna sell. And this one was actually a pretty top. The only problem with this one is that it was a size extra small. So I knew that I'd probably be sitting on this one for a while, but this one didn't take that long. I want to say maybe 2 months, maybe even less, I'm not sure. But it didn't take long at all. And I was shocked to see it at the bins, and nobody picked it up. But Sundance is just a pretty great brand to look into. And this one sold for $30. I think I had this one priced at $38. So it sold for the price that I wanted it to sell for. So I did pay 84 cents for this, and I made a profit of $23.16 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so moving on to eBay. These are just a pair of women's Chico pants. I love Chicos. What can I say? I remember like 2 years ago, I used to talk shit about picking up Chicos, because I think Alicia from Murray Life used to pick up Chicos. This was years ago. I don't know if she still does. And I remember shading it in one of my vlogs, talking about I'm not picking up Chicos and Taylor, da 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 da. And that was because I didn't go to the bins. My cost of goods at that time, they weren't that bad. I think my cost of goods was like $4 to $7 for clothes. So I just couldn't fathom paying $4 to $7 for an item, and I'm only going to be able to sell it for, you know, $18, $20. It just didn't make any sense to me back then. I'm pretty big on the profit margin here, clearly, because I love shopping at the bins. Sorry if anything looks different, the battery died, so we love that. But like I was trying to say was, these Chico pants sold for $20. I did pay $1.33 for them, so I made a profit of $16.21 after fees and cost of goods. All right, the next one is this 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊 like athletic dress. Okay, so what's so funny about this one is I picked this up and I went against my better judgment, just because I'm like, you know what, I think I can still sell it. And I saw this exact item listed for like, I want to say maybe $12 or $15, and it still wasn't sold. And I was just like, you know what, I think the fact that it is an athletic dress, 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 is a decent brand. It's not like, you know, super sought after, but it's a decent brand. And that's where my pricing came into hand. I priced it accordingly, you know. I thought that at the very least I could get about $20 for this one. So I didn't want to price it too low. And I didn't want to price it too high because I didn't want to sit on it. So this one eventually sold for $22. And I did pay $1.26 for it, and I made a profit of $18 after fees and cost of goods. That's so weird, it's exactly $18. But this one made me happy because a lot of times I do feel like, okay, I say these things and they're supposed to be set in stone, and you know, I'm not following the reseller community where they say the sell-through rate, blah, 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 all of that. I just kind of like say, hey, I think I could sell this one, and I'm happy that it sold. This one took like 2 weeks to sell, if that, because I didn't even put it away in my inventory, so I probably sourced it last week, I'm not sure. Y'all know I source 100 items a week, so it's hard to keep up, but for the most part this one sold fairly quickly, and I was happy to make that $20 off of that item. This is probably the only exciting find on eBay. These are some Goldie shorts. I did source these at the bins, and I was shocked that they were still there. That's why I like to comb through bins. I don't like to like walk around and just throw shit around and just like, you know, do what typical people do at the bins. I will comb through bins. And I believe in that particular bin where I found these, I found Joe Brown as well. So I like to go off the merit of when you find something really good in a bin, keep digging, okay? Keep digging and go through all of it again. So if I'm like, you know, half-ass looking in a bin and then I see something good, I will go back and start over because I'm like, I know for a fact it's got to be something else in here. Nobody's just going to donate one good piece, you know? But yeah, so this one sold for $40. I was actually happy with the price point it sold for because I remember actually checking comps when it was time for me to list it. Naturally, I didn't have to check comps when I was at the bins because I'm like, it's a Goldie. But when I check comps at home before I list it, because of course you want to put the item with the style code and all of that just so people can find it quicker if it's a particular style that they like. And I wanted to do that, and I noticed that the comps weren't that great. And I noticed other shorts that were similar to mine were priced a little bit lower, so I'm just like, So yeah, it's still sold. And this one took maybe like 3 weeks to sell. And I did pay 98 cents for this at the Goodwill outlet. So I made a profit of $34.45 after fees and cost of goods. This is a 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 tank top. This is probably my most disappointing sale. I picked this up last summer. I want to say it was either June or July. Now during this particular time, I was picking up all of 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 pieces, all of soft surrounding pieces, just because around that time it was selling. And it was a bread and butter. So I just felt like in my mind at that time, like, oh, if it's a bread and butter, that means you can pick up everything. No ma'am. So I definitely slowed down completely with picking up soft surroundings in 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 unless it is something that stands out, that is sellable without the brand. And I try to just stick to that. This particular person asked me the measurements on a tank top. So I gave her the measurements, and she actually bought it. And honestly, these don't even go for that much brand new. So I should be grateful that she even, you know, spent her probably $15 on this. But anyways, this one sold for $8.47. Looks like I sent them an offer, and I did pay $1.24 for this, and I made a profit of $6.41 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is another Chico's piece, but this is just a cute little Chico Traveler's cardigan. By the way, I think 3 out of the 4 Chico pieces that y'all just saw in this video were all the Traveler style. So if you are familiar, Chico's has like this, I want to say it's a collection, if you will, of Travelers. So they have like this super sleeky fabric where you don't have to actually earn it because it never gets wrinkled. And I feel like once I reach my 40s, I'm probably going to want to get in something like that, you know, because it feels really nice. It feels very comfortable and just kind of nice to the touch. But this one actually sold for $20, and I did pay $1.14 for it, and I made a profit of $17.29 after fees and cost of goods. And I love picking up Chico's. It's something that I do when I come across something a lot and then I source it a lot, and I notice that it kind of slows down. I don't see it leaving as much as I'm picking it up. I will completely stop. So I want to say maybe like a month ago, I just completely stopped picking up Chico's Travelers because I noticed that it slowed down. So now that it's selling, I'm probably gonna start picking it up. So I'm wondering if Chico's Travelers is more of a spring summer type of fabric than it is a winter fall. That might be something to note, honestly. But this is a Zara knit top. Now this is a size 13-14, but I do remember the girl saying that you can market the size 13-14 in kids as a size small, and this definitely is like a size small in women's. So I did put it as that, but this one was just a really pretty top that I thought would be perfect for the spring and the summer. This one did take a while to sell because I do remember having this last year. So this has to be like a winter pickup that I waited to list for the spring and summer. But February was the cutoff time. And this one actually sold for $15, and I did pay 89 cents for it. And I made a profit of $12.43 after fees and cost of goods. Zara is another brand that I have slowed down with picking up. There are really specific pieces that I pick up in Zara. Right now, it's typically like either a good fabric or the size is good, or if it's a maxi dress. So it's kind of got to be one of those things. This is also a brand that I slowed down picking up. This is 𝕃𝕀ℎ𝕂𝕂. Before, I want to say last summer when I got this, I was picking up 𝕃𝕀ℎ𝕂 because at the time I'm like, oh, this is a bread and butter brand. Anytime I find it, I'm going to pick it up. These are a pair of sweatpants, and clearly I didn't check the comps or the sell-through rate because these sat for a very long time. And I want to say maybe like 3 to 4 months ago was when I decided that I didn't want to, you know, pick up too much 𝕃𝕀ℎ𝕂 because it's been sitting, and when it sells, it doesn't sell for much. So everything is, you know, intentional when I pick it up. I definitely would not pick this up, you know, if I came across it. These are a pair of men jogger pants. So these actually sold for $12, and I paid $1.08 for them. And I actually made a profit of $11.30 after fees and cost of goods. This one was also a disappointing find. Picking up white at the bins is just incredibly questionable. But I picked it up anyways because I'm like, oh, it's a jumpsuit. At that particular time, y'all already know I was sourcing jumpsuits and they were selling. This one was plus size, and I just knew that this one was going to perform amazingly. Absolutely not. Got it home, got it under that ring light. I think I saw like 2 flaws. Now, I did notice that they were by the neckline, so if you are a girl with like long hair, completely be missed. The flaw is not even noticeable. But I recognize that Ashley Stewart is actually not a good brand. Ashley Stewart, I believe, is a plus size brand, but on the resale market, I just don't know. So this is the first and the last time that I picked it up. Pretty disappointing, honestly. So this one actually sold for $17, and I did pay 98 cents for it, and I made a profit of $14.14 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is a St. Barth St. Barth sweatshirt. I picked this up because I thought this was a different brand. I think I was thinking of Calypso St. Barth, but this one also was a crop top too, so I'm just like, oh boy, this one's really going to take a while. And it did. It took a year to sell, maybe a little under a year, but I definitely picked this up in the summertime, I know for a fact. And I think I initially had it priced high because I thought it was the other brand, but I had to consider, like, okay, this is a crop top. Not a lot of mature women are wearing crop tops, so you know the market is slimming down. So I went on and dropped the price on it, and this one eventually sold for $18, and I did pick this up for 91 cents at the Goodwill outlet, and I made a profit of $15.67 after fees and cost of goods. Okay, this was a decent pickup. This one was a 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊. I don't know how to pronounce that, so do not come for me. But the exciting part, 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 or whatever the hell it is, it's French, so you already know. I'm gonna pop it on the screen. But the main reason why I picked this up is it was 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊 fabric, I want to say. So that was the only reason. So if you guys come across the tag that I just popped up on the screen, definitely go ahead and pick it up. If it has no flaws, pick it up, okay? Don't even think about it, just pick it up. This is a very low tier brand. I think it's sold at Dillard's, but the 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 fabric is what makes it, even better. So I still picked it up. Now I have this one priced, I want to say closer to $80 because at the time, that's what the comps were saying. And I think I picked this up like in January, I want to say. And I had it priced close to $80, and I just relisted it a day before it actually sold, and I dropped it by $20. They came in, bought it full asking price. Now I noticed that it is an international sale, so this is going overseas, but this one sold for $48.98, and I did pay $1.24 for it, and I made a profit of $41.93 after fees and cost of goods. This is a Maeve top. This is a brand that I consider a bread and butter. I like to have those because when you shop at the bins, you come across a lot of the same brands, and you're able to kind of like, pick out what is gonna sell and what isn't. And of course, after you check comps and the sell-through rate, but a lot of the times, I just pick it up without even checking the sell-through rate or the comps because I know that it's gonna eventually sell. So I always pick it up. Of course, it has to be in good condition. I want to say maybe like 90% of the time, completely slowed down with picking up items that have flaws to them. And speaking of that, today was the day that I photographed all of the items that were flawed with like, some that needs to be washed out. And I still have to damage out 2 of them. I decided to keep 1 item, so that's 3 pieces of inventory that I paid for, which is probably just like $3.50 that I'm going to be missing out on some money. I don't know where I'm at now, but I just don't like to spend money on damaged items. I'm more strict at a thrift store than I am at the bins, but for the most part, if I'm at the bins and this is just not an item that I can still sell with the flaw for a good price point, it's not worth taking home. So I just go ahead and damage it out because I just don't want to list it and take my time and let my bot share it and do all the things for it to just either not sell or for me to eventually have to take it out and damage it out anyways, or for it to sell for like $8 or $10. Like, I don't even want to waste my time for that. The main top sold for $18.68. I paid $1.11 for it, and I made a profit of $15.28 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is a 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊 bra. So this one is the last sale on eBay, but I remember receiving an inquiry on Mercari, and I thought it was funny. I think I had it priced at like $28. At the time, I was trying to get $20 for it. So she was like, what's your lowest? So my remark was, what's your highest? And you know, she had the audacity to come back and say $10. Now this was before the change in, you know, Mercari's, you know, thing. So it still didn't warrant that. So I was like, oh no, that's a little too low. Hopefully you can find it somewhere else for $10. I waited, and this was over $20 on eBay. I knew that it was gonna go for a decent amount just because it was a plus size top. It was pretty, it was lace, it was mesh, so it had all those factors, and I actually sold it before, so, you know, you just kind of gotta hold out. Not everything you need to hold out for, but I just thought I'd hold out because I knew I could get more. If she would have even said like 15, I would have entertained it, but $10, like, girl, bye. I did pay $1.19 for this, and I made a profit of $16.49 after fees and cost of goods. Okay, lastly, we are moving on to Mercari. This is a men's Zara top. I actually just showed y'all this in a recent reseller vlog. I went to a new Ben's location that I used to frequent, and then I stopped going. But I found this there, and I remember in the video I was complaining like, oh my god, it's so lackluster, da 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 da. And I want to say like 3 things have already sold. So I sat there and did all that complaining for what? But this one was interesting because I didn't think this one was going to get as much attention as it did. I don't use the stock photo for my cover shot when it comes to Zara pieces, because I remember I must have found a piece that was like still sold on their website. So they came back and was like, girl, this is not your photo on eBay. And I feel like with eBay, it's not just a slap on the wrist. You're going to get put in timeout. So I went on and took all of Zara's stock photos off of my main cover shots. So I said all that to say, when I took the photo of it, I put the stock photo as a second one. And this one got quite a bit of attention. I think somebody on eBay even asked me, could I do like, I don't know, it was like 15 or something. I told them no. When I do pick up items, I already do my research on them. So the price point that I list them for, especially on eBay, is literally the best price you're gonna get, okay, for the particular piece that I have. But I listed this one, and within like, what, 2 days it sold. This particular item is the one that I am missing. So I gotta go and find that. The brand is called Saturday Sunday. It's just a tank. This one sold for $14.97, and I did pay 99 cents for it, and I made a profit of $12.35, which, what can you do? I think I sourced that to sell to a buy sell trade store, but they didn't want it, so I just listed it. But anyways, back to the Zara piece. This one sold for $24. I did pay $149 at the Goodwill outlet, so I made a profit of $22.51 after fees and cost of goods. This one was a LL Bean seersucker top. I remember sourcing this in a reseller vlog, and the seersucker pieces do well, depending on, of course, the size and the style and the color and all the things, but, you know, do your own research. But I went on and took this one home. I thought it was going to sell between, you know, $25 to $30, because I think the last one that I sold between that price point. But this one was priced at $28 because I would have liked a full asking price sale. That didn't happen. They sent me a $24 offer, which is still very modest, so I accepted it. And this one I did pay $8.92 for at that thrift store. I guess my cost of goods were really high. And this one I only made a profit of $15.08. Typically for thrifted items, I like to make a profit of $20 minimum, but you know, $15.08 is not terrible. This is a Altered State top. I actually recently sourced this one. I was surprised that it sold as quickly as it did, just because Altered State is one of those brands that just will not sell for me. So I had just stopped picking it up. But this one was a size large, and the style was more in season. So I went on and grabbed it. It's just some stuff you take a chance on, and some stuff is just not worth it. But I came out of my alter state hating vibe, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get this one. And this one sold. This one got a lot of attention on Mercari, and this one sold for my full asking price of $25, and we love that. So I did pay $1.26 for this at the outlet, so I made a profit of $23.74 after fees and cost of goods. I'm trying to speed through because I don't want my camera to cut off again. These are a pair of Woolrich shorts. These are men's. Honestly, I went against my better judgment with picking these up, but I said, you know what? You just never know. Let's go ahead and grab it. And they eventually sold. They didn't take long to sell, surprisingly. I want to say maybe like 3 months. But yeah, this one sold for $15. I think I had them priced at $18. They sent me a $15 offer. I accepted it. And I did pay $1.15 for this at the Goodwill outlet. So I made a profit of $13.85 after fees and cost of goods. These are a pair of CNC shorts. Y'all, these had like 20 likers on them. I initially picked these up for myself, but I didn't like the style on me. I just looked really frumpy. Just something about my body type that is just not cool. I feel like if I was taller, the weight would pan out better, but I'm short and my chest is big, my butt is big, my stomach big. I look stuffed, okay? And I didn't like how I was looking at them, so I went on and let them go. This one, somebody did ask me could I do $10 for them, and I was like, no, sorry. I don't even know how much CNC California goes for, but this particular style, I wasn't going for it. Just because it was a size extra large, and I felt like that's a really good size to pick up. So I waited for the right person, and this person came and sent me a $16 offer, and I accepted it. I did pay $1.15 for this, so I made a profit of $14.85 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is a brand called Angel Deer. This is like a kid's onesie. This one sat, I want to say, have to been like 6 months, maybe even longer. And that's why I'm like, you know what, I want to get out of the kids game. I don't really care for it unless I can come across like some items that I can bundle. But this was a good brand. That was the only reason why I picked it up. But maybe I had it priced too high. That could be a thing. Because I wasn't pricing my items the best, you know, 6-7 months ago. But anyways, this one eventually sold for $16. They sent me an offer. Of course, I accepted it. Anybody paying $16 for one thing from a children's brand is just cool. So yeah, I did pay $1.13 for this, and I made a profit of $14.87 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so the last thing to sell is also a kid's item. These are a pair of Begosh, whatever you want to call it, overalls. These took, I want to say, maybe like a month to sell. I have been seeing like the vintage ones go for a lot, so I kind of been like on the hunt when I see this brand. And I think this is my second pair that I picked up. The first pair I haven't sold yet, but I think that's more of a fall colorway. But anyways, these sold for $15. I think they sent me an offer. I try to price kids items depending on, you know, the brand, the style, and all the things at like 18 bucks because I want to sell it for about 15. So I accepted their offer, and I did pay 89 cents for these, and I made a profit of $14.11 after fees and cost of goods. But that is all that I have for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and please let me know how your sales for Memorial Day weekend went. Were they good? Were they bad? I did do my books again for this month, and I'm on track to make my goal. I'm not that far off. I think maybe like $140. So if I could just make that within a few days, we'll be good. I do have like 3 days, so fingers crossed. But I'll see you on the next one. Bye.